This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on lrodvinetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on lrodvinetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to lrodvinetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.
Welcome to this week's episode of Thirsty Topics. I'm Lawrence Elrod.
And I'm Meryl Climo.
Hey, Meryl, how's it going?
Good. How are you? We're recording. Yes, we are recording. Good. I'm just saying things to confirm them. It's like me saying, I have brushed my teeth. Yes, I have brushed my teeth. Before I start with my first topic, I have to tell you something funny, and I want everyone to know this, that this week you were my latest victim of me messaging someone when I'm sleeping and going on TikTok. But luckily my video that I sent you was just weird enough that I thought, because it's not weird for us to message each other like news topics or even something funny. Like you're my friend, so I absolutely will like message you something newsworthy or silly now and then. But like I think I sent you something about like what AI toothpaste would you use, and anything. I just want anyone that's knowing that if you ever get anything from me that's like from 10 p.m. on to 7 a.m., just know that it's me sleeping. And I like lately I fall asleep, and then first my phone will usually hit the head of my boyfriend where I fall asleep, and then I've been known to like just send different TikToks to people.
It was a very interesting. I'm like, okay, never thought about that. With the toothpaste.
You never did tell me what like AI toothpaste you would choose, so I definitely want to know the answer. But yeah, I have to stop falling asleep scrolling TikTok because I'll like repost stuff about like one time I reposted stuff about like people with horrible relationships with their mother, and I have like such a good thing with my mom. So yeah, it's so silly.
All right now. Well, thanks for the heads up, though.
Exactly. So I told my friends, if I'm messaging you at 3 a.m., it's not me. It's sleeping me. Okay. Well, one of the reasons I couldn't stop scrolling TikTok is because the latest in just insane news that Jimmy Kimmel's show was yanked off the air. So Disney ABC is taking Jimmy Kimmel's late night talk show off the air indefinitely amid a lot of public pressure from the FCC. Kimmel made some comments in his Monday night monologue about Charlie Kirk's suspected killer. And then, to some, this was like a shocking decision, but I think those of us have been following along for a while. We know that Trump does not like Kimmel, and they've been going back and forth at each other for a while. But this is definitely one of the most like boldest and craziest things of just taking people off the air because you don't like what they say or because you find what they have to say offensive. And of course, my first thought is also all the people that work on his show, that they're affected with their families and who don't deserve that, So I think it wasn't getting great numbers. Like I also think it really wasn't like probably pulling in a lot of money, but I think to me like that it could have gone on for a long time, and to have this taken off because of like speech is just really crazy.
I agree with you. I literally rewatched that episode multiple times, and I didn't see anything that was so crazy or over the line because, it's no secret. I love watching Jimmy Kimmel. He's one of my favorite people to watch.
Really?
And I have seen him say way worse about the president. Way worse. And it's like, wow, this is what gets you taken off the air. And I remember watching CNN, and there was a guest on there that said that he believes it has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk, but something to do with Trump getting revenge, basically.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think because he even tweeted out like you're or Kimmel is next or something after they fired Stephen Colbert. And the funny thing is too, it's probably not even Jimmy Kimmel that wrote that joke. It was like a writer, and so I know it goes past a different amount of people. But imagine if you're that writer, and like it's like, oopsie, sorry everyone,
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it, I think this is a dangerous, slippery slope you're going down, because
yes,
we're always going to have Republican presidents. We're going to always have Democratic presidents. They switch up every so often. So you start setting up this dangerous precedence about, well, I don't like what you said about my team, so I'm going to get you taken off the air. Well, what's to say or what's to stop the opposing party of doing the same thing to you?
I know.
And, how far is this going to go? A lot of people don't understand is that whether you like or dislike his material, this is a dangerous slope for America, period, to me.
Exactly. Because like I mean, if you look at like Fox News anchors and stuff like that, like a lot of people across the board on both parties have said stuff that could be deemed as offensive or antagonistic. And then to me, it's just so weird because like I definitely identify more and more just as like very independent. I tend to lean one way, but I definitely am more independent. But like that is part of the thing that the right has always like said about the left is that it's a lot of cancel culture and like they don't like that it's too woke or you're going to cancel for this or cancel for that, and this is like the ultimate kind of like crybaby woke thing. So like and I can see that sometimes where it's like I think there have been sites where if you don't post something or you do post something you're kind of like ostracized or whatever, and the right doesn't like that, and then now it's like okay, well you're doing it times a million. So I really do feel like it's both sides sometimes are like little children and we just need like a big parent to come and help us. But
I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I guess the thing I'm looking at is that, you talk about cancel culture on the one side, but then you're celebrating Jimmy Kimmel being taken off the air. That's really cancel culture. So
exactly.
either you're for it or against it. You can't be both. You can't be for cancel culture when it favors you, but when it's against you, oh, I hate cancel culture. You can't have it both ways.
I know. And something very interesting, I was just talking about this with a friend, is that I feel like Hollywood almost sometimes to a detriment is like known for being like very, very liberal, like in a good way. But then sometimes I think because of how out of touch Hollywood people can be, when they say something for a cause, all of us just kind of roll our eyes. And it's just like, oh God, like it's almost better sometimes for like the people in Hollywood to not speak up so much because the rest of the world at this point is like, shut up. But I think also too, it's like, the Hollywood people seem to be very like liberal, but then the executives and like the people in charge of pulling the rug out from everyone, it's like, it is weird how not that it is when we, so like the people that make the big, big, big decisions seem to be doing power plays that like are really not human.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, another show that I like watching The View. And what was really eye-popping today is they said not one thing about Jimmy Kimmel being suspended.
I know. I feel like they know because everyone is like, cancel these women, cancel these women. Also, that's so amazing that you like The View. I feel like I feel like you should get an award as like a man that likes The View. That's very sweet.
I like hearing everybody's point of view. Whether you agree or disagree, I think everyone should have a plate at the table and sit there and be able to express how they feel about a particular person, subject, or whatever. Sometimes you're going to agree, sometimes you're going to disagree, and that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. And the beautiful thing with all these things to listen to is that like I don't have to listen to Tucker Carlson or he could do his thing, and I have the power to like choose what I'm watching and ingesting. And sometimes I do watch things that I feel like are oppositional just because I really like to see the different viewpoints, and it's good not to live in like your own echo chamber. So I really do like tune into a lot of other stuff. But yeah, I just feel like this is weird for an executive to say we're taking it off the air because like what he said is bad, because that's not talking for the general public or for a lot of people. Like half the country doesn't feel that way at all. So like I do really do feel like maybe the ratings were bad, but I definitely feel like this is a personal vendetta from Trump for sure.
Oh, I agree. And it makes you wonder if there's something bigger going on, because it was shocking that not one thing was said on The View today.
I know. I
It was
know.
very shocking. I mean, they did the show, but how about I explain it? You can kind of feel something was in the air.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
it's
what I
almost.
mean?
I wonder, like, even like SNL or like ones that have been making fun of the president and everything for a while, and it's scary because you always think with these countries, other countries like this, like, how does it happen that you're not allowed to state your opinion or make fun of the leaders or whatever? And it's like it is slowly happening.
Oh yeah, I agree. And I think there's something bigger going on, because supposedly, and I'm going to say supposedly because I don't know, but there's rumblings about, there's a possible deal or a merger deal going out there that they're trying to protect or whatever. The problem is when you run into situations like this, there's all kinds of conspiracy theories that get thrown out, and you don't know which is real and which isn't.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you something because I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it, but there's also a part of me that for like late night entertainment shows like Fallon and Kimmel and
Mhm.
Conan and stuff. To me, part of that job isn't. I do think sometimes when it gets too political, it like does take the fun and uniting. Like in my mind, those shows are supposed to unite us and almost make us laugh and take our minds off of like the hard hitting politics. Do you think? I don't know. It just seems like it's also to me. I'm not against Kimmel, but I feel like what should have just been said was like, it's horrible that someone was shot. Like anyway, moving on to like this, sloth that we're going to see the zoo bringing in or something. Like I don't know what like place like very politics or whatever now has in our late night, because to me I'd rather leave it out and like leave a lot of it out and just have it be just more like uniting and entertainment type of stuff.
You know what? I totally agree with what you're saying. But I guess the only issue with that statement is, if you want Jimmy to do that, then tell Fox and other hardcore right wing, media outlets to do the same thing.
Yeah, well, I guess just for me, like I just mean the late night ones. Like I don't know who, like the Craig Fergusons, or I don't even know who's on at this point, but almost exactly like not the more like CNN and Fox ones, but like the late night, the Colberts, all those ones.
Comedy stuff, yeah.
Exactly. Like I just almost mean like the late night variety shows, like how Letterman was and Johnny Carson. Like I don't know because I didn't really watch a ton of them. I don't know how like totally political they got. I know some maybe their guests did, like George Carlin and people that he had on, but like the host itself, to me, I'm just like, I don't want to hear on both ends of things. Just like it gets like so deep down a rabbit hole. I think that for like the late night comedy shows, I think I'd rather just like maybe acknowledge it and try to bring the world together, but then like try to stick with more entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have a great point. I mean, one of the things, and I think for what you're saying, to me, SNL does a great job of this, because SNL, they make fun of everyone. It doesn't matter what party you're in, who you are, whatever. But they do a great job of keeping it balanced and humorous, and not take it too far to the extreme, which is very hard to do.
Yes. Because I feel like we're all going berserk because it's like politics is blending into everything. Like the fact that like Taylor Swift and Kimmel, and like you can't like look without something being polarized, and I think it's making everyone nutty. So I feel like we need more and more things that are just like uniting us and calming us and just trying to be like funny. But
yeah, I agree. And I mean, do you think, and this is a great question for you, do you think that this is going to somehow maybe change or alter the way comedians, talk about politics now?
I'm laughing already because it's like I'm already seeing a lot of my comedy friends fighting. Definitely. Like, I mean, I'm people like comedians that are saying even like free Palestine and like things like that in their speeches are already creating like already existing divide or just deepening it, and so absolutely. And I know friends that are friends with like writers on Jimmy Kimmel and that work on that show and stuff. So like I don't know them directly, but like my friends are upset for those people So yeah, I mean, I think comedy wise, it will make, like, stand up wise, it will make a lot of people just dig in harder and almost double down. But then, like, I always dreamed of, like, one of my goals is to, like, do a set on, like, a late night show. And then now I'm like, okay, by the time I'm ready and I'm working my way towards that, like, what is my late night? It's just going to be like an AI robot that I have to, like, get approved by every single political party, you know? So to me, it's like our dreams, like, don't even exist anymore, of, like, performing on Ellen and, like, all these things, because all these things are tainted weirdly. So yeah, I think it will do both. It will make people double down, but then people that like Fallon, I imagine, is probably like, okay, I'm just going to stick to dancing and, you know, singing with Ariana Grande kind of things.
Yeah. Now, I'm curious, do you think that Jimmy Kimmel will be back?
No, I don't.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I don't think because I think he's so, like, I think he's already mouthing off at things that I think he'll be back, like, maybe on a different network or something.
Mhm.
But I feel like he's going to be off of, like, Disney and ABC.
Wow, really?
But I don't know. I also do feel like, if anything, there's also, like, a third sector of people that I feel like I'm part of that are just fed up with, like just how fragmented we are, and maybe, like, a new type of more entertainment for the sake of, like, good uplifting news and uniting people. Like, if anything, that's almost one of my new, like, pivot thoughts of, you know, just acknowledging the bad but then focusing more on that type of entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I kind of wonder what they're going to do with that slot then, if they don't bring him back, because that is a prime time spot. You know,
I know. Yeah, it's so funny. Every day that goes by with these news stories, you always have to, like, as a comedian too, you have to, like, think in your mind, okay, how am I going to talk about this? How am I going to talk? You know, like, I think I had, like, 4 days off, and then I was so thankful that I don't have to do any shows these 4 days.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if there's going to be backlash if they permanently don't bring Jimmy back, because he did have a big following and there's a lot of people that watch him. So
Yeah.
you kind of wonder, you know, is there going to be backlash to where, because right now, you know, local stations are fighting with streaming channels, because streaming is the big thing now. Most people are getting rid of cable. They're not even watching local channels anymore. They're watching streaming now. So if they don't bring Jimmy back, I would not be surprised if he has a podcast or a show on a streaming channel.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be 10 times more popular than he is now.
Definitely. Exactly. Like, yeah, if him and, like, Colbert team up or something, that would be amazing.
And you know what? If we had said that a year ago, we'd probably like, nah, that's probably not. But you know what? That could really happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely think so. I think a lot of stuff now is just, like, his buddy Adam Carolla was able to build, like, a whole life out of just his own independent stuff. And it's so weird to have, like, I know the Writers Guild just put out a statement that they stand with Kimmel and everything, and it's so weird to have all these entities, like, beefing with each other, you know, because like, the Writers Guild can't really go. I love it, and that's the best people ever, but it's like they need directors in Hollywood to, like, put their stuff on, and so yeah, it's just a big cluster.
This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on LRADTVNetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on LRADTVNetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to LRADTVNetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.
Yeah. Something tells me that this is not going to be the end of it. So We'll see. Do you think they're going to go after more late night
Oh
comedians?
yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do. Yeah, I don't know exactly who, but I mean that would be really weird if like censorship. And we'll talk later on about TikTok, but like the word on the street too is that like TikTok is going to be starting to be like used more of a surveillance tool and everything too. But
The scary part is that may be true. That's the scary part.
yeah,
If it's not already a surveillance tool, we just don't know it.
yes. So it will be interesting, but yeah.
Oh yes. Well, talking about a very, very unfortunate incident. Have you ever heard of the singer? His name is David.
Yes.
Um, he just had a recent incident that happened. Let's see here. Okay, a body of a teenager that was missing was found in the singer's trunk of his Tesla. The singer's name is David. The development came after the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner on Wednesday identified the female body discovered last week in the trunk of a towed Tesla registered to the singer as a 15-year-old Celeste Rivers. She was a runaway that's been missing, I believe, for over a year. So right now they're trying to figure out, what happened to her. Was it foul play? So far, the singer has not been arrested or anything. They're still doing investigations, but this is kind of weird. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. My thought exactly, because the way that all the news was, it was like there was a body found in this person's car, and it wasn't like this person is being charged with anything. It was, and I was like, I don't understand. Does that mean someone just crawled in the car and like got in, or was he framed? I haven't heard of David in a long time. Like I think he's been out of, to me at least, he's been out of like the news. But yeah, it seemed very suspicious and weird, and I couldn't really understand exactly. And the fact that they're saying it's like a Tesla, it's just, I'm like, did the Tesla like drive itself into something, or like you don't really understand, you know?
Yeah, because it was kind of interesting that they mentioned the car brand. Normally they don't do that. They just say
No, exactly. Or something. Did someone self open it and then get in, or like, is he under investigation? It's also a weird way to like break the news that like a body was found in this person's car without quickly saying like we don't suspect him, or he's like, talking to authorities.
But what's weird about it is you're right. They didn't say that they suspect them or they don't suspect them. They just said, which was kind of weird in itself.
It sounds like maybe another hit piece against Tesla. It's very sad, very, very, very weird, and maybe like, I don't know. That's just very weird to have a body in your car, and you would think immediately he'd be like, "Oh, my car was parked here, and I didn't do this," or like my friend borrowed my vehicle, or like I don't know. It just seems very, very weird.
Yeah, there's reports that I guess on one of his fingers he has some kind of tattoo, and it's the same kind of tattoo on the same finger or whatever as the body that was found in his trunk.
Really?
Now, whether that's a coincidence or not, I don't know, but it kind of makes you wonder.
Yeah, that really does. Yeah, that's weird. And also, you would think that if they wouldn't put that out unless they had like evidence. I think if anything, if we knew more about the story, it's like, oh, someone murdered a person and then put them in the singer's car.
Mm-hmm.
Weird time.
The whole thing is really weird, but I think that it did get some play on social media, but not as much as everything else going on because it's just going on this week. But I don't know. It's just really weird. Really weird.
Yeah. I have to wonder. I haven't heard. Were you like familiar with David before?
Before I heard the story, no, I wasn't.
Okay.
Is he?
I'm looking now.
Is he a big? I mean, I'm assuming he's pop, or is he R&B?
Yeah. I think he was a few years ago too.
Oh, okay. Has he put out anything recently, or?
No, not that I know of. But I'm bad at that kind of stuff. I only know Alanis Morissette, who I don't think would drive a Tesla.
Okay.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that because I feel like more will be announced soon. Another singer you may have heard of, an independent artist called Taylor Swift. Believe it or not, exactly. She hardly gets any press, but it's like it's so funny whenever I prepare for our recordings and talking to everyone, like every time I'm just like, okay, let me like Google Taylor Swift if I can't find anything. Now, at this time, I don't know, this isn't really newsworthy, but I thought it was at least an interesting topic to bring up that she just she was at the last season a lot of her Kansas City Chiefs like appearances, we saw her directly, like we saw her with Blake Lively, we saw her with the parents, and like part of everything was what is she wearing, the camera zooming in on like her every face and every expression. Now this season might be a little bit different because when they were playing the Eagles, she came in through like a big barricade, basically, so like they put up a huge black barricade, like almost like a partition to separate them. And then they held it. And then her and her team walked by, and people knew it was her because it was like, first it was her security and her assistant. And then you see like little shoes going by. And people are saying, okay, maybe she's doing this in light of like some of the recent violence that has gone on. And then there's also word on the street that her like box may be tinted so that we can't see her as much. Now, do you think this is like because she's not getting enough privacy, or do you feel like she's getting overexposure or security or like all of it?
I think somebody gave her this dumb idea because
really?
Here's the thing. When you know a celebrity's walking through, putting up a black curtain or whatever, walking them down the aisle, you still know who the person is.
Yeah. And it only brings more intrigue, I feel like,
Exactly. It does the opposite because now you're bringing attention to yourself.
Yeah.
So
what about fear, though, that like kind of now, like, I feel like unfortunately, we know that sadly, like once one shooting happens, like a lot of people get crazy ideas. And I'm not kidding. I would be like, if I was her or Billie Eilish, or like, that's one of the reasons I don't want to be like crazy famous or anything, because that seems like a nightmare to just have a security risk like everywhere you go.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, that's one of the negative parts about success. Because again, one of the things that some celebrities say is it's almost like being a prisoner.
Yeah.
You have the money and the means to do whatever you want, whenever you want, but you really can't because, again, you got to have security around you. You got to be cautious about where you go, who you have around. So, little things like you and I take for granted, going to the store, going to the movies. Somebody like a Taylor Swift, it's a big production if they want to go to the movies. It really is.
And then I saw a lot of comments that are like, she doesn't have to go to every game, or she doesn't have to go to the games, and she just wants attention. But it's like, that is her fiance. You do want to support him. But I also feel like maybe there would be a way, I don't know, maybe she could like get to the games earlier, or like there has to be some creative ways in which she could like get to the box before and doesn't have to pass by everyone. But then, I don't know, it's just weird. And I could totally understand why she may want like a dimmed box, because maybe she also doesn't want to be shown like on TV every other second when she's just trying to watch the game, or like take away from Travis or the rest of the football game itself.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know what? She's supporting her fiance. That's normal. That's a normal thing people do. Except she happens to be one of the biggest stars on the planet. So,
Exactly. Yeah. He probably feels that way too. When he goes to one of her concerts, it's probably exhausting for them to support each other.
Exactly. And I think, I don't know. To me, everyone's intrigued with celebrities and everything, but sometimes people could be so intrigued that it's like, okay, do you have a life?
Yeah, I know. Mine was more, it's interesting to like, about the barriers itself. And that is so sad if like it's a security concern. And I think no one, no matter how famous they are or not, should have to worry about just like walking 10 feet into a room and having something bad happen to them.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you know what? She's living her best life. I tip my hat off to her.
I know. Me too. She can't see you tip your hat off, but.
Well, Been a lot of crazy stuff this week. And this story is actually pretty disturbing, but I felt it was very important that we covered it. Um, this is a story about a college student that went to school down in Mississippi. The body of a Delta State University student was found hanging from a tree. The sad part about this thing is that, they're trying to figure out whether there was any foul play. Law enforcement said there's no foul play. The parents and his friends say that he was a happy-go-lucky guy, had no reason to do anything to himself. It doesn't make any sense. And, I could tell you as a parent of a child in college, one of your biggest fears is your child being safe.
Yeah.
Seeing stories like this doesn't make me or other parents feel any better. The family of a Black student who was found hanging from a tree on a college campus in Mississippi has retained the civil rights attorney, Ben Crump, as questions continue to mount around the death. On Monday, staff at Delta State University found the body of DeMartravion Trey Reed near campus pickleball courts. Micah Pillar, the Delta State police chief, has said Reed appeared to have died by suicide and that there were no signs of foul play. But concerns have grown, and the case has brought up painful memories of the state's history of racist violence. Then it goes on to say, while local police and the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation look into the death, attorneys representing the Reed's family are conducting their own investigation and plan to seek an independent autopsy. This is a very, very troubling story. And I don't know, what are your thoughts on this, Meryl?
I mean, I have lots of thoughts. My number one thought is like, I don't know. I hope the autopsy is like done honestly. And, if they did find foul play, a lot of times, very sadly, these things are like covered up, whether it's by the local police or the university itself, or, because they don't want extra publicity in a bad way. So I hope whatever is the truth like comes out. And I think that would give people not peace, but at least like hopefully like, knowing the information sometimes helps whatever amount it could help. On the other side, I think a lot of people that have lost ones to suicide have like sadly been like, they did seem happy and, upbeat. Like it's not always the case that people are really upset. Like sometimes, and it could be a quick thing, like someone gets broken up with or someone looks at their finances and, we never really know exactly what's happening. I don't know if there's drugs or alcohol, but to me, like it definitely does seem suspicious. And like, of course, my first thought is this does seem like a racial related thing, but I also like, you don't know. And, that's just where my mind goes to, but we don't know. And if so, that's like, of course, like beyond horrific.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that if they feel that there was no foul play, to me, there shouldn't be any issue with the body being released to the family to do their own independent autopsy. Yep. And there shouldn't be any issue with the family's lawyers having access to the evidence then, if that's the case.
That's right. I forgot about that. Is everyone allowed to get like an independent autopsy or?
Well, once the body is released to the family, I'm assuming that it's up to family what they do to with the body and everything. But also, it also depends on the condition of the body. In other words, when they did their autopsy, they didn't remove any evidence or, do anything to the body that would make that second autopsy difficult to complete. So those are kind of like the unknowns. But I do understand that Mississippi has not had the greatest reputation years ago when it comes to race relationships.
Yeah. And that just seems so.
Before people get on there saying that I'm dogging Mississippi, this is a known fact. It's not a.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely like. I promise we'll go to a happier thing soon. But like, I also think it seems strange to me that like a young man would like hang himself by the tree like that. That does not I know that's like weird. I'm sorry to bring that up to people, but it seems like there would be other ways that people would do it rather than just like publicly hanging yourself in front of a tree. But I don't know.
And again, you kind of think about it, and it's bad when someone takes their own life. It's horrific.
Yeah.
But it's like he would go outside by the pickleball court.
I mean, know.
Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but that just doesn't make sense. And
no, I agree.
It could be just me,
No, I agree. I would. I mean, I don't know the stats on it, but I would argue that like young males, no matter what, don't typically do that by like publicly. Mm-hmm. People tend to usually do it quietly or privately or whatever. But
yeah, let's definitely pray for that family.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope we do know like the truth of what happened. Mm-hmm. And either way, it's sad because no matter what happened, it looked like a very nice young man that was taken away one way or another. So yeah, it's very sad.
I agree.
Okay, something way more not serious, and it was so funny. The Emmys happened, and I wrote this down for us to talk about. And now it seems like a million things have happened since that. I did not watch, which is so funny. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me that I live in Los Angeles and I'm like in this world to a certain extent, and I just like do not care whatsoever. But the Emmys, there was a lot of snubs. One of the biggest victories was the studio, Seth Rogen, for lead actor in a comedy series. And I've definitely heard that people love that so much. The Penguin followed with 9 wins, then Severance and Adolescence with 8 wins apiece. Now, did you watch?
I kind of watched pieces here and there, to be honest with you.
Okay, me too. It's so funny. I don't even know this, but yeah, people were saying like the Penguin, Severance, and the studio seem to be like the big winners. And Adolescence's Owen Cooper made history not only as the youngest winner in his category, but also as the youngest ever male Emmy winner at age 15, which I think that's kind of cute.
Yeah. The one thing that I was really, really kind of surprised about, some people are talking about it. Danielle Spencer, who played Dee on What's Happening Now years ago.
Yeah.
She recently passed away. And when they went through to the memoriam, going through the actors and actresses that aren't with us anymore, she was not in there, which was kind of shocking.
Really? Yeah.
I kind of think it was a little bit of a slap in the face personally, but that's just me. I don't know. What do you think? You think I'm looking into this a little bit too much?
Yeah, it's so hard with these, like, because I feel like I'll have people in shows and everything that I'm like, they're amazing, they deserve an award, and then they won't even be like mentioned, or they'll lose out to someone that I don't understand. I feel like so much goes into these like choices that we don't even know whether it's just.
Oh, no. She passed away. She wasn't in the memoriam.
Okay. Then that's a good excuse, at least. So not a good excuse, but yes, definitely sad. Did they have like an in memoriam thing for her? I don't even know.
Well, they have they have it every time they have the Emmys, but noticeably she wasn't in there.
Oh, I thought you meant she was in there but didn't get nominated. Okay. Oh yeah. Man. Yeah, I think that's sad and terrible too, and. I don't know. Sometimes these things that just like it confounds me, like who is mentioned and who's not mentioned, type of things.
Yeah, I mean, she was well known. I mean, she was a big child star, and then when she became an adult, she got out of the Hollywood light to become a veterinarian, which is good. She, the career didn't destroy her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a little bit shocking that they did mention it, or at least acknowledge her passing, but that's just me.
Yep, I know, me too. I also like, it was so funny when I saw who was wearing what and everything. I'm just, this is not the time. Like, that has to be hard for, it's not only celebrities though too. I have to remember that it's like a lot of people doing what they love. Even if we don't care, there's still a lot of like hair and makeup people and the stylists, and there's a lot of people that go into making this machine. So even if it seems a little out of touch now, I still remember that it is a lot of people like doing their art, and I try to look at it from that point of view.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Did you like the little bit that you did see?
No. If anything, it just made me like some of the people that were saying, I might be alone on this, but like when I see like actors and everyone getting like too political, I think they know, I think they think what they're doing is because they have like a giant mouthpiece and they're making change, but really everyone's like, shut up. Like, it's just so, yeah. I'm like, you're actually like hurting the causes that you're trying to rally for, but I'm very weird, so.
Well, this is an interesting topic. In fact, I was totally shocked about this when I saw this myself. Did you know that over 70% of teens use chatbots for social companionship?
No, that is so sad.
70% now.
No, what the heck? Like, that's really weird. I thought it should be like 7%.
I mean, I knew that, some do use it, but I was shocked at that statistic. And actually, my number is actually kind of low. Because looking at my notes here, it says a recent Common Sense media study found that 72% of U.S. teens have used AI companion at least once, and 52% of them use it regularly, often for emotional support, companionship, and advice, with 39% finding the conversations as satisfying or more satisfying than with real friends. While AI companions offer consistent availability and non-judgmental interaction, experts are concerned that they may hinder the development of reciprocal human relationships and emotional intelligence, especially for younger teens. And part of this also said that this also not only includes emotional, but sexual, which...
Oh, what? How? I mean, I don't want to know how. I think I know how.
I was stunned at this.
That's crazy and sad. I'm really happy that we grew up at a time when we did, because I don't want to be part of this narrative whatsoever. This is sad and weird, and I'm just like, I feel like any person over 9 years old should like know better, and it's just very weird.
Well, you know what? I think it starts stemming from when we had the pandemic, where everyone was locked in and no one could really be with other people. You know what I mean?
I know.
Because I remember when my son first started going to high school, and we let him get on the bus, because prior to that, we would drop him off and pick him up from school. And, we was at the bus stop, and I swear to God, it was like over 100 kids there. I asked my son, so where the hell does all these kids come from? Oh, that's so-and-so, they live around the block. That's so-and-so, they live. I said, all these kids live in our neighborhood? And it's like, kids don't come outside anymore.
That's so sad. That is so sad.
I was stunned at how many kids actually live in my neighborhood. It was incredible, but sad at the same time, too. And I don't know, I think this is kind of dangerous, because not dangerous in the fact that, they're going to hurt themselves or hurt other people, but when you lose that ability to communicate with human beings, I think that does something to you, not only emotionally, but also physically as well, too.
Yeah, we're meant to be like little tribal creatures with each other and to connect with people. And like, even if I think it's bad enough that we're online talking to our friends, and, just like, I feel like when I'm texting people, I don't even feel like I'm texting like a robot, but then to not even have an actual real person and just basically messaging yourself is like so weird. And we know too, we've talked too many times about how wrong AI is about everything, and just like how frustrating and annoying it can be. And it's basically just like a yes man. So yeah, I feel like that's very sad and weird.
Yeah. And I think what it does too is it hinders a child from being able to handle real situations, because when you work for someone, they're going to treat you way differently than that AI is going to treat you. So you need to be able to handle people that aren't going to be nice to you sometimes, maybe most of the time. People, kind of being an a-hole to you. That's real life.
Yeah. Yeah. One time when my boyfriend was talking to his AI about like making a plan for us, or, something on vacation, and I was like, tell it that you're you and your girlfriend so that it knows. Like your AI better know that you have a girlfriend. And and so he was like, "What?" He's like, "Okay, my girlfriend and I are looking for a good lunch place." And so I'm like, don't go talking to your AI bot.
Well, we're good. You're good as long as it didn't answer back. Well, why do we have to talk about her?
Exactly. It's like, yeah. Why do you mention her?
But the
But
crazy
yeah,
about it, Meryl, is that they may be coming sooner than we think.
yeah. I know. It freaks me out.
I
Yep.
don't
I'm
know.
not.
I just hope that I hope this is a fad and it doesn't become a true trend that keeps going, because if kids lose the ability to start being able to communicate with each other, um, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough
Yeah.
for kids growing up.
I think too, I feel like not even kids, I mean, like kids, but also as well, people that are like in the dating age,
Yes.
like I'm sure like college students and people in their like 30s and 40s. I bet there's a lot of like 38-year-old men that are like talking to their AI bots right now who normally would be like out there going on dates for women that are looking for husbands. And you know what I mean? Like we need the balance of people like wanting to date and talk to each other.
That's true. And the other part about it is what happens when you get out of this AI world and you try to talk to a human flesh and being, and try to bring up some kind of conversation or anything, and you think to yourself, this is different from the AI. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm very glad to be. I just even thought the other day I'm really gonna try to use like the chat thing like less and less because
Mhm.
it's annoying and I feel like it doesn't make me happier. So I feel like I use it for very like impersonal things, like help me come up with this list for something. But I'm asking it less and less questions, and the more we know now about what's happening, I also would think everyone should be really careful about what you talk to your AI thing about, because at any point it can like expose all of us. And I've heard people can like go to jail for what they talk about, or you know what I mean? Like, so.
Oh yeah, and that's actually real. I personally think that AI is a tool, and I don't think it's meant to replace human beings.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
could be in the minority on that, but that's what I think. I think it's a
Yeah.
tool.
To me, it's like how Google is or something, or like an organizing assistant. It's not like someone I should talk to and just, like, yeah, it's not a companion.
Mhm.
Well, someone who's not looking for love on AI, but instead they're looking for it on The Bachelor is Taylor Frankie Paul, who is the star of the show previously Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, who got famous. She was one of the dancing moms, the Mormon moms on TikTok, that a few years ago got very famous because there was this whole big scandal about how they were like swinging with each other, and then she ended up getting divorced because some of the couples fell in love with each other and it just got really messy. And then they made the show on Hulu, which was like a smash hit. And now she's going to be the Bachelorette. And so I think this is very interesting because she already has kids and we've already seen her through like a few different failed relationships. Like there's her baby daddy and then there's I guess there's two baby daddies at this point, but like, yeah, it'll be very interesting because this is the first pick that's not really like homegrown. It's already someone else coming in as like a big star, unless I'm missing someone else. But I think this is good to awaken ratings because, like, I think that what I heard, The Bachelorette was kind of going downhill, and things were getting stale.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that they're going in this direction because, they want to try and throw some spice out there to get people to watch it. Like, ooh, wow, And there's some people that may not be familiar with who she is, but hear that, hey, she was a Mormon wife star. Well, let me take a look at this and see.
Yeah. Now, will you be tuning in? Does this make you any more eager to watch, knowing that it's the Mormon swinging wife?
I know I probably should say yes, but probably not. But
really, at least it will give us something to talk about. Maybe like on all of our weekly recaps, we could do like a Bachelor rewatch.
That's true. I mean, you know what? Hey, if she decides to do some interesting things, ratings will go up.
Exactly. But I hope she takes it seriously, just because, like, I don't know. That was part of it on the show. Is I don't know how like really, really, truly her like heart is open for love, you know?
Hmm. That's true. That's true. But you have to give the producers credit for trying to spice things up, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me ask you this question. If you wanted to do something out of the box to really spice it up for the Bachelor or Bachelorette, what would you do, or who would you have on there?
Um, like as the main person, let's see. Maybe maybe like a I guess a lot of the pop girls are taken now, like a Selena or a Taylor, but I feel like I'd have like a Dua Lipa or someone like that's a really well known already entertainer, or like an Ariana Grande, or someone that's just failed in love. And I would also shake it up in the way that it wouldn't necessarily have to end in engagement, because I feel like that's so fake that we all know now that it's like the engagement is staged and it rarely makes it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would just have it end in like, are they compatible for each other type of thing.
That's true. That's true. Now, you
And
know
I
what?
open it up to different like ages and body types for real. Like I
Oh,
don't think we need to see. I think the old bachelor or whatever it was called, senior bachelor or whatever, like that was in theory good, but they still picked like way younger than him. And I think we need different types of like I really don't think like a lot of body sizes are like shown. And if they would choose, I think they just need to get like a better range of actual normal type of people.
oh, I agree. Look like people that you really do see every day.
Exactly, because that's not bad. Like, not everyone is into like pageant looking people. Like you know what I mean? Like people like real looking people. So yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, I've always said this in the past, Meryl, is that there is no such thing as an ugly man or ugly woman. And the reason why I say that is you could put a male in front of five women or a female
Yeah,
in front of five men, and every last one of them is going to see something different in that same person.
exactly. Yes. And so yeah, I feel like The Bachelor gives it's like a very one note type of beauty
Mm-hmm.
in person, which is still wonderful, and a lot of people are still they're gorgeous, but like it's not. I think Love Is Blind did a very does a better job at that, because they've had like people that look way different, because obviously it's more about like connecting and not just what they look like.
Oh, I agree. I mean, if you're going to be that shallow of a show, instead of like skirting around the edges, just dip right into it and say, okay, you're going to have this ex hot, very, very, very famous porn star. She's the new bachelorette. I mean, if you're going to
Exactly.
put it
Yeah.
out.
Actually, that would be funny. That would be really good. They could go, it would totally be a 180 of like, because right now it's very like Catholic middle America, like we're getting married and we're gonna, have a chastity belt on and stuff. And now it's like, okay, here's someone like raunchier.
I think that would get a lot of ratings.
Yeah. And maybe like the Taylor Frankie Paul is going in that direction, because she did have a reputation at first as sort of like a Jezebel. She definitely had like a scarlet letter on her at first, because she's a mom and she's been through a lot of different stuff. So this is kind of the first like I don't want to say tainted, because she's not tainted, but just in the eyes of a lot of people, I'm sure she is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It'd be interesting. I may peek at it just to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting though, because Bachelor is on ABC, right? I think now a lot of people are talking about like boycotting ABC. So I feel
Yes.
like the Bachelor people are probably like, we can't catch a break.
Yes, that is true. Um, it's going to be interesting because it'll affect a lot of shows and let's face it, if they start losing viewership, that affects the bottom line, because advertisers aren't going to want to pay if no one's watching.
Exactly.
So, talk about watching. There's a new fashion trend coming out. Well, actually, it's already out. It's the new fashion craze of dressing naked.
What?
Have you heard of that, Meryl?
I see it with a lot of my friends, but
Well, this is, I guess, something that's been kind of building for a while, but there is a lot of celebrities and, some people doing it too, where they are dressing in very, very, very revealing clothes, to the point to where only sensitive stuff are covered,
oh my gosh.
and a lot of stuff they're wearing is incredibly sheer, where you can see straight through and see their body. Do you think this fashion craze is kind of taking it over the top?
Um, Yes. Like, okay, I don't want to see it if I'm like riding on a public air, or if I'm on an airplane with something or someone. But like from an artistic point of view, I think it's cool if people do wear like slinky things, if it's to the club or like a very late night restaurant or like you're in New York or something. I think that's cool. And I also do think if someone has like a body that they just are so proud of and want to flaunt, I do think there's like it is cool. Like I think that I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad, but I think it can be done in like a classy, artistic way rather than just like a raunchy way.
Hmm. So you think that maybe Kanye's wife friend, when she did her naked thing, do you think that was a little over the top, or?
No, it's always like the line of what is just trying to get attention and like selling yourself out, and what are you doing because you're so proud of your body and because it is like daring. So I see both. I see both of it. Like if I was just walking down the street and I saw someone completely dressed like that, of course, like I'd look and everyone else would be looking. But I think that there's like a time and a place for it.
Hmm. So in other words, if they're going to some kind of event, that's one thing versus, you get on the bus and you kind of see this person sitting there almost naked.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want them on a public seat. I don't want it to affect me in any way. Like I don't want to have to touch or see things that I normally don't want to. But I did notice that was a trend with the Emmys for like the very little bit that I
Yeah.
did see. Yes, it was a lot of sheer. But there's a part of me I would be lying if like these people are gorgeous and just like have aspirational bodies, even if they're all on Ozempic or whatever. But it's cool. It's like I don't know. There's a part of me that still, of course, it's like we want to see pretty things, and the human or like the animal side of me is like, yeah, of course I want to see this.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot more of it.
Yeah. I hope that, I mean, not to say that everyone should be able to show whatever they want sometimes, but then too much of a good, we don't want too much of a good thing.
That's true. That's true. You have to leave something to the imagination.
Exactly. But I used to think of, I don't know why I always think of women. It's so funny because I forget that men could actually do this too. But I feel like back in the day, like in the Cindy Crawford days, when people just wore like denim cutoffs and like a blouse or something like that, that's like the peak. I feel like we can all agree where that's like the best point to be at.
Yes, that is true. That is true. But, everyone wants to take it to that next level.
I know. Well, so they already do on TikTok, but we'll see how this is going. My last story for today. U.S. officials said they've reached a deal or a framework for a deal with China over TikTok. A few months ago, we were all scared that it was going to end. I definitely cried. And then, then it was back. And now it's back in a weird way. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but like my algorithm is so weird. It definitely does feel like something is changing, has changed because it's not just the normal algorithm. Trump posted on social media that a deal was reached with a certain company that young people in our country want to save. They will be very happy. The relationship between China remains a great one. A lot of people are saying, oh God, the people that he has working on this is like some of the people that have implemented this in China, different countries where it is more of like kind of a surveillance state. You're not allowed to totally have freedom. So a lot of people are like saying get off of TikTok and they're going to see what you search, but to me I like it that much that they're free to watch whatever.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, one of the interesting things is the whole idea about banning TikTok or having a U.S. company own it is the fact of privacy and sensitive information being shared with China. And am I really surprised that they have a deal on the table? No, I'm not. Because this administration came in and, it got the cancellation got moved. The date got moved several times. So it's not really a big surprise, to be honest with you. I just hope that people just be smart about what you put out there and what information you share.
Exactly. And don't be like on live saying weird things or whatever, like I just use it as a way to like look at different parts of the world or vacations or, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, social media, if used right, is a great thing. You start going down that rabbit path when you start looking for crazy stuff to follow. And
Yeah.
the algorithm, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, it doesn't matter. It pays attention to what you search for.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
have you ever been in a situation where you look for something and it's not even on social media, but maybe you just Google something you wanted to find out, maybe you want to buy a refrigerator, or you maybe want to shop for a car. And then all of a sudden you're on social media and you start getting like 50,000 advertisements for what
Oh
you just.
my God, all the time. And I'm like, wait, I just mentioned this to a friend. I don't even want, it'll be like Tampa, Florida. I'm like, I just talked about like someone's aunt going to Tampa. Like, I don't need to go there.
I don't know about you, but that's kind of scary. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh, it definitely is. And just like, I think now, especially with the past couple of weeks with all these news and all these things, it's like more opinions than we're ever supposed to take on in our little brains. So that's why I'm sleep messaging you videos about toothpaste at 3 a.m.
Though I got to admit, I like the glitter toothpaste though.
Okay, good. I know the AI things calm me down. Of like, you haven't slept in 10 days. Which room are you choosing? Like, I don't know why, but that just calms me down.
That's true. Well, it's never boring with AI though.
Exactly. Never boring. Yep. Well, this was fun.
Yes, it was. Talk about fun. Meryl, what do you have coming up?
I'm going to plug a weird show, but a weird but fun show coming up October 9th. I'm performing at a mortuary, which is
Oh, wow.
very fitting now that comedy is dead. But it's called Missing at the Mortuary, and it's in Pasadena, California. So if anyone lives in that area, it's called like the Lamb Family Mortuary. I feel like there's some things coming out about the Lamb family that's on Netflix about like a true crime kind of murder mystery thing. So yeah, that's October 9th, and the show is called Missing at the Mortuary, and then it's in Pasadena.
So is that a real mortuary that you guys want to do?
Yep. I heard there's a casket on stage.
All righty now.
Which will
Now,
be my career.
is it closed, or do they still operate as a mortuary?
They still operate as a mortuary.
Really? Hey.
I know. I'll do anywhere. I'll do comedy anywhere.
All righty now. Well,
Exactly.
if I'm in Pasadena, I probably won't be there, but
Yep. You'll be there in spirit. No, hopefully not. Actually, hopefully you won't be there in spirit.
Wow. Okay. Very different. I can tell you that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, if anyone's in the area, definitely stop by and support Meryl. We definitely would appreciate it.
Thank you. You're always so sweet about that.
Well, everyone, thank you for watching and supporting us. Thank you for continuing to listen to our podcasts, to stream elrodtvnetwork.com. Please feel free to reach out to us on all of our social media outlets for any comments about what we said, what we talked about, and maybe even ideas about shows or topics that you want us to talk about.
Exactly. And I think I just want to say too, I totally respect, I'm sure, I hope like people listening probably have different opinions of what we're saying. And I'm always open to like nicely and respectfully talking to people. So yeah.
I agree 100%. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I'm Lawrence Elrod.
I'm Meryl Climo.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on elrodthenetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on elrodthenetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to elrodthenetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.